Hey Collective, it's Jeff. I'm back. It is Tuesday, October 17th. If you didn't catch my last message, I encourage you to go back and take a look at it. My channel is fairly new, so I'm just numbering my videos at this point just so I can mentally keep track of them and refer back to them as needed. So my last message was number 4. Where I did something similar to what I'm going to do today, which is really just kind of a simple feel-good message rather than like a deep spiritual message that I did for the first 3, which I think are still pretty profound, and I highly encourage you to go back and take a look at them. But nonetheless, they are out there for you. And if you resonate with this message and you like it, please subscribe. I could use some traction, right, to get these messages out to other people as well. So the last video, what I did is I'm just trying to spread a message based on kind of an example that was given to me that kind of resonated with me, and it's one match can light 1,000, and really one match can light as many as are surrounding it, right? So if there's 1,000,000 matches surrounding one lit match, technically you can start a blaze, you can start a forest fire, you can set the world on fire, really. So that's kind of like the feeling I'm going with. So it's literally just feel-good messages that were channeled to me when I was really in alignment, and I'm really in alignment right now. So I was guided to do another video. So here I am. But these are the last 3 messages that I shared with you guys. So this is, again, on video 4. I tried to keep it brief, so if you're in the mood for it, go back and take a look at them. I think they're kind of cute. I don't know. And these are intended not only to make you feel good as you go through your day or days, like they're ideas to move forward with, and just ways to be, right? That not only make you feel good, but they make people around you and everybody around you feel good. And the idea behind it is, like, these are channeled to me so I can light matches that light other matches, and so on and so forth. That's the intent. So I have more written down here. So these are basically, at the end of the day, they're good deeds, right? But they're simple good deeds that are easy to implement, and they're good deeds that they don't require funding, right? Because I'm somebody who doesn't have any kind of monetary means to do good deeds. Like I got the idea from another reader, but the ideas that were given were, make a care package and send it overseas to a soldier. And I love the idea. However, I don't have the means to put together a care package, nor do I have the means to pay for postage to send it over. So, I imagine that's not a cheap venture. However, if you're so inclined to do that, I encourage you to do it because it's a great idea. But these are ideas that are virtually free, and if they're not free, they're pretty damn close to it. And if you're watching YouTube and you have a cell phone, I can almost guarantee you that you can afford each and every one of these if there is any cost associated with it. But even those that have a cost associated with it, I try to come up with like a free alternative. So I also do tarot, so I'm going to shuffle these kind of like tarot cards, and whatever falls out is what I'm going to deliver. Last time I delivered 3, it's because I was what I was guided to do, and from a time perspective, I'm trying not to take up too much time because people don't seem to like long messages, so don't want to take up your time. But again, please like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Okay, so I like this one. I like them all, so I'm a little partial. Okay. So these go hand in hand, so I kind of wrote them up, upside down on each other. So it's kind of like 2 ideas out of 1. But this is something that I found is really lacking. It's something that I've always done intuitively, and I've come to appreciate myself over really through my spiritual path and through my spiritual learning. I've learned how unique I am in a lot of different ways, but I never really thought them to be unique. So this is one of the things that I've always done. And it's in relation to gift giving, and I am a very avid listener, and I'm very intentful about what I hear people say, because what people say to me, especially those I truly love and have affection for, it doesn't matter. Like, it could be a friend, even an acquaintance, somebody I've just met. Like, for instance, like, I have a reader, one of my favorite readers. Her birthday's tomorrow, and I am going to. I know her so well, but she doesn't know me personally, right? But I'm gonna figure out a way to really make her day. I haven't figured out how yet, because again, I don't have funding, but I've paid really close attention to her likes, her dislikes, and I know what's going on in her life just because I care, you know? But anyway, the suggestion is just pay close attention to what people say, specifically around their likes, because people throw those nuggets out all the time. And when we're buying a birthday gift or a gift for a special event, or if we just want to be nice to somebody, like, it's super helpful if we've listened to what they've said in the past as to what they like. It could even be like what flavor coffee they like. It could be like when you're walking through a store and they pointed at a pillow, like, or a pillow that said, like, it had a specific saying on it and they liked the saying. Or it could be a myriad of things that are so easy just to store and put in your back pocket, and use at a later time. And I do that just naturally. And I'm not saying that makes me better than anybody. It's just one of those things that I don't think a lot of people pay much attention to. And if they did, it gets you a lot of, I don't want to say brownie points, because it's not about that. It's really the intent behind it is to, when the time comes when you want to do something kind for somebody, when somebody's feeling down, again, or if it's a birthday, or if it's like a special event, doesn't it feel good when you already have a gift idea in mind that you're positive will be well received? Not only do you know it's going to be well received, you know why. It's because you paid attention, and they are going to pick up on the fact that you paid attention to their wants and needs, right? So it's not even just the gift that means something. It's the thought behind it. It's the fact that you paid attention to what they said, and you not only paid attention, you cared enough to store it in your brain and then bring it to fruition, like bring it to life, in their life and in yours. So you both walk away from that gift giving experience feeling really, really good. And honestly, you might get away with a $10 gift versus going out and spending $200 and having them not even want the gift or returning the gift. Think about that. And think about how many times you've gone out and gotten gifts like last minute that you didn't really feel any, well, maybe you felt like maybe it resonated with you because you'd want it, but that doesn't really mean anything to the person who's receiving the gift, right? You can't assume that something that you want or something that you spent a lot of money on has any value to the person that you're giving it to. So it's just a suggestion that when you're with somebody that you truly do appreciate, love, or you know what, you just enjoy their company, and maybe you hang out every couple of months, not all that often, but even more important in those instances, right? Because you're not even around that person all that much, but you know them well enough to get them a kind gift, like a kind-hearted gift that is meaningful to them. So that's my suggestion. Just listen to what people say. And if you don't have a good memory, I don't know, like literally get a note card, put it in your car, and like when people say things about the stuff that they like, just write it down. Like, my name's Jeff, so Jeff likes XYZ. I don't know, just a suggestion. It works, trust me. People really truly appreciate thoughtful gifts over extravagant gifts, and sometimes extravagant gifts or last minute gifts that don't hold any meaning to the person sometimes are insulting. So think about it that way too, especially if you truly love the person. If this is like your partner, or somebody who truly means a lot to you, and you get them a gift that they're like, oh, this is not me at all, think about it from that perspective too. You don't want to repel somebody with something that's intended to be heartfelt and something that you meant to put love and care behind, right? Because you're putting your hard-earned dollars into it, and you might as well put less of your hard-earned dollars into something that's going to mean something and resonate with them and make them feel good at the end of the day, because that's the whole purpose of giving gifts, right? And the other thought on the same card is always remember that a meaningful gift always outranks an expensive or thoughtless gift. If not, question your connection. If somebody would truly appreciate an expensive gift over a well thought out gift, I wrote, you might want to question your connection. And there's some truth in that. And I'm actually, it's October 17th, and there's a white butterfly right in front of my car, which is just a symbol of transformation. And that's truth. So there, you really might want to question your connection if somebody really truly just wants monetary, like high value monetary gifts, and they ask for them like explicitly. You might want to question what your value is to them. Like, how do they see you? Like, do they see your value as being only monetary, right? So careful of those people who don't wait for you to think of a valuable gift, whose like birthdays are coming up and they point out like the most expensive thing in the store and be like, ooh, my birthday's coming up, like, red flag. Just saying, do what you want. But that was just the other thought on the same card, right? On the flip side, right, it's not always, it's not always rainbows and butterflies, for instance. White butterflies specifically. I see a lot of butterflies. I see a lot of really cool animals, like when I go out on walks. I hike a lot too, and I see some crazy birds. I see like hawks like flying right over my head. I see eagles. It's pretty cool. I see a lot of cardinals and blue jays and crows, and I saw 2 like 6-foot snakes, and I'm in the Northeast, and I've never seen a snake that big in all my life. Not in nature, not like crossing my path specifically twice in 2 walks. All right, so none of these are falling out, so I'm just gonna take the one on the top. Okay, so this is one of my, this one's a little corny, but okay, but nonetheless, like, okay, so this actually came up when the city that I live in, they were looking for ideas to like print in like a local like newspaper, just like kind of simple things. And honestly, I'm a true believer in this. It's so I'm a walker. I take regular walks, and I used to love walking through my neighborhood. And I worked a lot in my neighborhood specifically, so I would walk from like just blocks, and I would keep a plastic bag and gloves out on my front porch. And every time I walked, I would take the bag and the gloves, and I would just pick up garbage. That's because there was a lot of garbage on the ground. So I just, wherever I walked, I picked up garbage. And it's just an easy suggestion that honestly makes you feel good. People actually appreciate it when they see you doing stuff like that. I know I've seen people do that, and I'm like, wow, that's really selfless. I actually see somebody in a town just north of here. Every morning they walk at 6:30 in the morning, and they always carry a plastic bag, and they're always picking up garbage. It's almost like their mission in life. It's almost like they take it so seriously. It almost seems like their job. So I'm not saying do that, but I'm just saying, like, if you live in a place where there's a lot of trash tossed on the side of the road, if you live on a busy road, if you walk in a busy road a lot, I don't know, and you're by yourself and you just have headphones on, just bring a bag and bring a glove and pick up some garbage. Like, and people see you doing that, and it's infectious. It literally is infectious, and you might give somebody else the idea to do just exactly the same thing. But nonetheless, I mean, you feel good about it, right? Because when I've done it, it's almost a little frightening, because I would just walk 1 block with my dog, and I would have like a regular shopping bag full, plastic shopping bag full of garbage. So it's a little shocking to see. Sometimes I wouldn't even be able to put any more in the bag. It would be so full. But it's a good contribution, and it ends up, in a landfill rather than on your city block, which, they do come through with sweepers every now and again, but, it's not quite enough. Another thing I wrote down, because I see this a lot, and I don't see people acting appropriately when it happens. Like, okay, so if you're driving and you see a hazard in the road, so like a brick, like sometimes like you see like not the manholes, but like the little covers, like the metal covers, like flip out sometimes in the road. Garbage can flies in the road, or something, some kind of hazard in the road that could cause an accident, or it could damage somebody's car. It could have damaged your car, but you made it around it, and you have the means, and it's safe for you to pull over and get the hazard out of the road so it doesn't cause anybody else any harm, right? I'm not saying do this on the highway. I'm saying like side roads and things like that. I see so many people just disregard the hazard, and as long as they get around it, they don't give up. Look, if you have the time and you're not late to your destination, pull your car over, put your hazards on, and pull the hazard out of the road, or get the hazard out, right? Remove the hazard. And not only somebody's going to see you do it, so whether it be somebody in one of the houses or passerbys, and it is infectious. Like, it gives people the idea like, oh wow, they cared enough to do that, and maybe I should do that more often, right? So light the match. So it might not have an immediate reaction, but the next time somebody sees a hazard in the road and they have the means to pull over and do it, they might actually do it, and it might actually save somebody's car. You don't know. It might prevent an accident. You don't know, but I can guarantee you that it will create a positive ripple effect. Just an idea, and you're going to feel better for doing it, because you know that not only did you not damage your own car in the incident, but you've then prevented other people from, a certain demise of hurting their car. So just an idea. It's very, very simple. 2 ideas. Very, very simple. All right, I'm just going to do one more. We're at 17:35. And I just write these down as I come up with them, and I'm just going to keep sharing them because I want to. And I don't really care what people think about it. But I don't really have many followers, but hey, hopefully I get more, because I do care. I truly do. I truly care about people. I do. You see someone? Oh, okay. I got this one. Okay, so this is about paying compliments. So, have you ever received a compliment and intuitively known that the person was just buttering you up, like it wasn't a true compliment, right? We've all been there. So what I wrote was, make sure what you're saying is the truth. People are naturally intuitive, which can actually cause insults over paying somebody a compliment. So now, how did that make you feel when your intuition kicked in and you're like, that person is not paying me a compliment? Think about, like, I guess you can think about it in the context of a sales, like a car salesperson, but I don't want to throw every car salesperson under the bus. I'm not, because they're not all like that. I'm just giving you an example. But you know when a compliment is not true, it doesn't have true intent behind it. And in that case, you're better off not delivering it at all, right? So don't do that. If you're one of those people who does that or has experienced that, just know better. Don't do it. Like, because your intent behind it, or the intent behind the delivery of it, isn't positive, so it's worthless. It doesn't light a match. It puts the fire out completely, and actually it sours probably your mood, and probably sours your connection with that person specifically. So why would you want to do that? So it's just more of a suggestion, or something to provoke thought about people who might be doing it to you. And maybe you're not reacting the right way. Maybe you are just like kind of like writing it off like, oh, it's just how they are. Well, if you know, if somebody's doing that, you might want to question your connection with that person, because that means that that's the type of person they are. They give out meaningless compliments, and what are those worth? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. What's it worth? Absolutely nothing. So I don't know. It's like, so why would you put that out into the universe? Why would you put out a compliment that wasn't even meaningful or truthful? Don't. And do you really want to be connected to somebody who does something like that? I don't know. Maybe you do, but I don't. I'm all set with that. Thank you. Like, if you don't have a compliment to pay me, just don't pay me one. That's okay. I don't. You don't, like, I don't require a compliment to engage with people. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like it's not a point of entry. So some people treat it like that, but you might want to question your relationships with people who do things like that. So just, that's more of like a thought-provoking statement. When you see somebody, like, okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. When you see someone and have a positive thought, share it in a non-creepy, or, I put lustful way. Only if your true intent is, like, non-sexual. And what I mean by that is, so I'll give you an example. Like, so I drove around the U.S. twice, and I was at some random gas station, and I got out of my car, and there was a lady with her, like, 4-year-old. He was about 4 years old, getting out of the car next to me, and it was a Sunday, and I assumed that they were, either coming from church or going to church around, I don't know what time, I don't remember what time of day it was. But nonetheless, I got a whiff of her perfume, and she was gorgeous. She had this beautiful, like, I'm gay anyway, but she had this beautiful, like, flowing skirt down to her ankles, and she had this beautiful top on. Her makeup was on point. Like, her hair looked beautiful. And I don't want to say she looked sad, but I can read energy. And I just knew that she would really appreciate the compliment. And I noticed she didn't have a man with her, right? So it wouldn't be weird, whether, it doesn't matter if I'm gay or not. You don't want to pay, like, a woman a compliment in front of her husband, or, you know what I mean? So that's what I meant by non-creepy or non-sexual. Like, if it's sexual and you're hitting on somebody, and you're throwing your game, hey, look, I'm not telling you not to throw your game, or, shoot your shot. Do what you want. But I'm saying, when you see somebody, whether they be same sex, opposite sex, if you have a good thought about, like, maybe their outfit or the way they look, or you like their hair, like, again, like, it doesn't have to have any sexual connotation to it. Like, it could be somebody that you're not even attracted to, but if you appreciate something about them, tell them. If you have the thought, think about this. Like, we're all part of Source. If Source has given you the thought, like, oh wow, I really like that outfit, say it. Just tell the person. Like, it will make their day, and it will literally light 1,000 matches, because they're gonna feel good about the way they look, right? Where, nobody takes the time in this day and age to tell somebody how they actually feel or what they actually think about them, right? They don't. It doesn't mean you have to go around telling people that they're attractive all the time, because maybe that's not the case. But, if you like somebody's perfume, be like, wow, that smells really good. It's 11:11 on the clock. As I say that, it's perfect, 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 perfect. And go around and acknowledge the little things, right, about people. And it's going to make them feel good. You're going to feel good for paying them a compliment. It's going to change the trajectory of your day. Trust me, it will. Because I felt that lady was so appreciative after I told her how beautiful she looked. I literally was like, and she did. She looked beautiful. That the skirt was gorgeous. The top was gorgeous. She just looked really, really radiant, And then I held the door open for her, and I felt so good, because the smile on her face, she was like, thank you. Like, thanks. Like, she really appreciated it, and she knew it wasn't in a creepy way. And maybe she did pick up on I was gay. Maybe she didn't. It doesn't really matter. She knew it came from a genuine place, because it did. I said it from my heart. I did. Because I don't know, I felt the need to, right? And her son got to see the experience, like somebody compliment his mother, and she was happy. And so her day probably moved forward in a really positive way, and her son probably had a much better day because of it, quite honestly. I'm tooting my own horn. But his day was probably improved based on her interaction with a complete stranger that took all of 5 seconds out of my day. 5 fucking seconds. And I felt good. And this is literally probably about 3 or 4 months ago. And I'm using it as an example in this video. And honestly, I'll never forget that moment. And I'll never forget that as being a prime example of, being able to light one match and lighting 1,000 more, because my day went great after that, and I went on to probably impact more people, hopefully. And I'm sure that if she went to church after that, or just went home and cooked a meal, she put more love into that meal that she cooked, or she went to church and she had more good conversations that were meaningful and in line with who she truly is, right? So again, it's just about lighting, your own match, just lighting one situation, and then, having that be infectious on everything and everyone around you. So that's it. I'm gonna keep the rest for another day. I got enough for 2 more days, so I'm gonna keep those. And I'm gonna try to keep this short. We're at 26:35. I hope that you enjoy these short messages, and they're really just intended to give you easy ideas about how to, I don't even want to say be a better person, because if we're all good people, right? They're just ideas on how to light matches and have it spread like wildfire. And again, these are things that you do that they're going to improve your day and your mood and your outlook and your interactions, as well as the person that you're impacting or the people that you're impacting. Because you can do this on a grander scale than just one-to-one. You could do it with groups of people. It just depends on how your life is set up, and how many people you get to touch, and not literally touch, but you know what I mean, to impact on a daily basis. So I hope you take these suggestions and move forward with it. And the 11:11 on the clock it's perfect, because I actually made a wish earlier and I asked for it to come true at 11:11, and it had nothing to do with this video specifically, but it's perfect that I looked at the clock at that moment in time. So I hope you believe in miracles, because I do. And if nobody's told you that they love you today, I love you. Why am I saying that? Not because I'm weird, because it's true. And honestly, nobody, even the people that truly do love you, they don't tell you. They don't. So I'm somebody who truly loves you, who doesn't know you, but I'm still gonna take the time to tell you. Why? Because it's important. So I hope that you'll even take that as a lesson, and maybe tell the people in your life that you truly love that you love them. Take a moment. Make that the 4th suggestion that I have. But anyway, I love you. I'm wishing you light, love, hope, and peace. And until next time, take care.